I started it in August, so when the semester started.
When the semester started? And
I actually started before because I'm still an undergrad, so what I did was I worked with Dr. Spencer and Dr. Gardner, and they had me look at a bunch of articles that a lot of the grad students would know the material, but I wouldn't know because I'm still an undergrad and I just had gone through statistics and research methods, but I didn't know like a lot of the data management and very much about single subject design and multiple baseline design. So they had me research before I started, and then so that way when I went into it, I had a background on what research we were doing, why we were doing the designs we were doing, and what I had to know in order to like keep all the data, everything organized as we were going on.
How was that process? Like, was it fairly intensive?
When you read things, you get an idea, but it's just like when you learn in undergrad classes. You learn all these theories and what they did, like with Pavlov and with the dog, but you don't know the little steps they did when doing the study. And I think like as a research assistant, that's what you learn. You learn every little step of the way, and that's something you won't get unless you are a research assistant. You don't know all the prepping materials and all the pre-assessments before you actually start the treatment. So I think it's really important to know the steps before, because otherwise you just kind of think a study just evolved, like Pavlov just happened to stumble upon the dog salivating, but there's probably so many more assessments that they did to lead to that conclusion.
So you feel prepared in your research that you're doing right now,
yeah,
or the collection of data?
So by reading the background, I had an idea, but then she started checking me out on assessments and whatnot. So I started learning all of her different tests and assessment tools, and then basically the standardized assessment tools. And so I was able to see kind of the difference in what she does compared to like the standardized. And it's so funny. She always tells me like, everybody warned me not to work with preschoolers, and they are temperamental and they're hilarious, but it's really cool because you can make a difference at such a young age, and it'll help them when they go into a more stringent curriculum. So it's better to start early when you can still like work within the system rather than when they're
what exactly are you assessing or measuring?
So we are assessing we're doing like total narrative recall. So we do recall, and then we basically try to see their ability to tell us stories back, their ability to put sentences together. And we look for words like then, because, when. We want to see if they're able to construct sentences based on what we tell them. So a lot of the times you'll have kids, especially like the first couple of the screening assessments, they'll be so scared they think that they're on trial or something. But they learn, they become more comfortable to tell parts of the story, and then you'll start seeing that they'll say because or when, and it's you build by like emphasizing these words. They'll be able to put these words together, and then when they go into kindergarten or something like that, when they're given instruction, they're able to follow it more because they learn these words in sentence structure. So,
what are those words called?
They're cohesion. I can't remember the exact term. They're like they're the cohesion. I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like they link two different sort of thoughts, or
it's cohesion structuring. I think it's something with cohesion, but the cohesion words that kind of make everything flow, the sentences flow. So, and we want them to learn like characters and just basically besides sentence structure, we want them to learn like emotions, characters, problems, solutions, and endings, because a lot of it helps with socialization as well, like them being able to tell stories about their lives and communicating with other people. So we think it's like really important.
It's kind of practice makes perfect.
Yeah, so you're able to, it helps both educationally and in your real life in the social world. So,
how long did it take you to sort of get comfortable with the assessment or the process?
I think the first time I was just as scared as the kids were. So it's so funny because they're preschoolers, but when I was reading the story, I was like, big-eyed, but now I feel like the more I smile or the more I engage with the kid, if I I always ask, especially after the holidays, I'm like, so what did you get for Christmas? What was your favorite Christmas present? If you get them to like relax and feel comfortable, they're very open. I think the first couple times it's kind of scary, but once they get to know you and they see your face more and more, they know that they don't have to tell like a perfect story. They can tell you parts, and they get so excited when you walk in. Like we had like tons of kids coming over. We were assessing today. Tons of kids come over and say, "When is it my turn?" And they get really excited because they get stickers. And what you want to do is make them feel like no matter what, they've done an amazing job.